because it's a free replacement.
The actual document itself is being paid for by the state, but you have to physically do it at your cost.
Yeah, they're providing the safety paper and all that. So.
Now, is that just the ones that are the small ones or the full size?
Just the little, yeah. Each level has a small, pink and blue one, but then the 3,000.
The motion to approve the recorder's quarterly report.
Motion Derby and second Stenger to approve the reporter's quarterly report. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Well, we'll move on to 14 for you now.
Yeah, I just have a request to get an increase to Sarah and everything now. She's been there years now, it's April 4th. So, it's going to be 60 cents. Half of it now and then the other half later.
All right, thank you.
It's been good because she's the past probation and that's really increased, I think, since she's there every day.
Yeah.
They can count.
Yeah.
Especially those that do it twice.
Yeah.
You know anybody like that? Okay. Oh.
We can do that. So since it didn't pass, I would guess that we'll probably do another one. It's the last week in June, so last Tuesday in June. I would guess so.
Yeah, it's close.
To increase the PEPL, the property and
The taxes that they were used to paying were actually gonna go down because they're paying off the note on the last remodeling job. And then they were gonna do this to, improve some infrastructure, buy some technology stuff, and, they gotta put in a roof on, I think, the gymnasium. And then they were talking about putting solar panels up there to, and then, new school buses possibly, but they had enough trouble with our one new school bus, and I don't know if the older ones are better.
I think part of the problem is they didn't get the people informed soon enough.
Yeah, everything was increased already, and I'm guessing.
Informing the public is the biggest part.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know all about that, don't we?
Still do.
Which one? No stamp. There might be some in there. There you go.
votes?
Mm.
221 to 211 or something like
After the last mail, provisionals and mail came in, it was like 223 to 211.
that? 223. 211.
50%.
So I needed the 7 people to vote the other way.
She's not here today. I have all of her drainage stuff.
Is there a place to sign that's on each one of these books?
Just, I think the one of them.
Just this one?
I think so. She also let us know if it's different.
I have 3 matters for drainage.
Okay. I can, I'll write it down.
Oh, I think Mark should be here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
At the end. Do you want to talk about that now, quick? Do you want to talk about the WCTA thing, quick?
Yeah, we started at 16 and worked our way back.
All just a coincidence, right?
Okay.
You all right?
Sure.
All
Why don't you announce the,
right. Yeah, which one is that?
toward the end?
17.
Okay. So, discussion with possible action on contract with WCPA for telephone services at the Public Safety Center.
This is a copy of it. This is the same thing that we did here. From individual analytical lines to this PRI, different from it's 12 channel is what's on that board here, and we'd be looking at this contract, we've written that for the 6-year term, which is the most economical for us. And the building's not gonna be going anywhere, and they're not gonna quit using phones. So.
Well, there isn't a big difference between the 5-year and the 6-year, but there's some. That's $50. Yeah.
Yeah. From what I recall, they're not gonna have, and I actually have numbers here, I don't know if you want to see them now or if you want to stretch this out, but it's not gonna be as dramatic of a cost savings over there. It'll probably end up costing about the same, but this service will be more flexible from the standpoint of right now, the dispatchers have a limited number of lines to transfer phone calls to people, and so they get a phone call for the Fort City Police Department, for example. They transfer that call to them, but it's still tying up the phone lines that they were giving those calls on. Or they can only do that once, and then if they get another call, they can transfer it if the lines are full. And that's because they have certain lines that they can use for certain things. And this is basically 12 lines that can be used for anything across the building. And a lot of them probably do.
And that's just for their lines here, that's all right.
Yeah. And that's, with technology, it'd be possible to share lines across all the sites. But it seems maybe there's here for the cost savings. This, that's $7. was, and that's covering all of the departments that are listed there on the side. If you look at the column that's way on the left,
Right.
it says previous average monthly bill. I went through everybody's departmental phone bill and added up their charges, because everybody had their own individual phone bill, a month or two ago, and averaged them from July to December, and that's what this column is. And so, for example, the attorney's office phone bill was $116.01 over that period on average. This total departmental phone charges, the next one to the left from there, is what their new phone expense would be, $31.40. And so if you look at the bottom of the picture, we're paying about $1,600 a month for phone service. We didn't see before, and now we're paying about $500 a month. And that's every month. Depending on long distance usage, that number will change some, but it's not going to be a lot. And
Almost worth having to learn how to figure out how to run that one, huh?
I'll change the buttons so you know the people that you're looking for. It's just like a big button that says Scott. That big. So, yeah, this is just probably more information than anybody really cares to know, but kind of how I broke it out by percentages, because we get one phone bill for all of these departments. And so basically how we did it is counting the number of phones that each department has, and then basing that as a percentage of how many total phones we have, and then using that percentage of what department is using what percent of the phone system to divide out the base charges, but then I can still divide out the long distance charges per department. You can talk to that with the phone system. So we can still bill everybody for their actual long distance usage. But one of the big cost savings is on the long distance side, because if CTA offers long distance bundles, so like 500-minute bundle for $25 basically, something like that, or 1,000 minutes for 20. I can't remember what the numbers are, but and most of the departments have those. But depending on which department it is, not everybody uses 500 long distance minutes in a month. Some people only use 50 or 100, and so if you're paying that whatever it is, $20 for that minute bundle, but you're only using a fifth of them, you end up paying 30, 20 cents a minute, something like that, which is more than the just flat long distance rate if you didn't have a plan. And people don't know what their usage is going to be, so some months are better, other months it's worse. But
at the same time,
now we're running them all together, and so we just got like one big bucket, and everybody's taking out of that same bucket, so it's a lot easier.
So when someone needs more, they've got them there, and when someone needs less, they don't.
Yeah, and we don't have long distance plans across all the departments that aren't getting used. I mean, there was only one or two departments that actually had hit how many minutes they had on their plan a couple of times throughout the past 6 months. And other than that, everybody was underutilizing them, which, I don't think it's anybody's fault or bad thing, but this is just allowing us to get much better deal. So, I'm working with all the folks involved with the Public Safety Center project to basically do the same thing over there. And like I said, they're not going to see this level of savings. It's probably going to be more of a wash, but the service is going to be more flexible. Talking to dispatchers already, they're really excited about having more lines available and not having limitations on if they get another phone call, they can't with it because the lines are taken up.
Well, applaud you for going through this.
This was a lot of work, but I'm really glad to see it.
No, it's nice working. Let's see who's using what.
Yeah, and the long distance minutes, that's listed here is an average over those last 6 months also. So this is not really, this is just mainly as an example.
But it gives you an idea how it gets spelled out to each department.
Yeah, and this should be ballpark for going forward. So the contract, I guess, is what I'm actually asking for approval on. And that will allow the CPA to install services months or we put one system in. That's our target at this point.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract with WPTA for telephone services out to Public Safety Center.
I'll second. The motion, Derby, and a second from Jensvold to approve the contract with WCTA for telephone services at the Public Safety Center. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay.
I'll say one more thing real quick. This is basically the same contract that we have for the courthouse. And we have that one issue on the courthouse.
And the same issue.
Yeah, I mean, it's the same contract, so it's the same issue. So just saying that something to the effect about who's liable and what there's in the house.
Yeah.
Okay. We need to
Move on.
keep on schedule.
Thanks.
Thank you.
We don't.
No, you don't have to. I'll take it and have Dave sign it.
Okay, 10:15 a.m. On research to B&W Spring to discuss a possible action drainage spring plans.
Mark and I went last week and inspected the ditches that were in need for this year, on schedule. I did add a ditch to that. Chris, do that.
Yes, thank you.
I did add to that as well, DD number 5, which is part of a clean out. That was on the schedule actually to be done on a regular rotation in 2015, but we took it off because of the awful work that was done. And now, what I priced on DD5 at the bottom there is to do the areas that were not disturbed right now with the brush control. And then you've got two areas, one area in section 31 and in section 30 where you basically took a forest off the ditch. I priced this to cover any regrowth for those areas. There's nothing there right now. It's pretty much skinned down, but there will be quite a bit of growth this season and the next season. This is if you approve this today, this is enough to take care of that. As it needs to be done. That way I don't have to come back with another price if we walk in and see that we got all the regrowth back and needs to be spread. And basically these are the same ditches that were looked at and done in 2014. There is one that's been taken off, and that's DD number 39. Apparently there's a big project going on down in Canada now to take the trees off. We have done some spraying on that in the past where the trees have been taken off. But now we're just going to put that on hold as well, and I'll work with them and see when that gets completed, and we'll put that back on the schedule. So that's another one of the ones that was just basically forced. And also, there's another carryover ditch from last year. This would be one of our favorite ditches. DD6 Lap 5 by Buffalo Center. What we need to do is coordinate with a supervisor, because I guess this is to go all the way through the ditch. We haven't done that historically. That's what we have done in the past. Even though we were working in that section, we called the sheriff and had deputies sit on the bridge and the guy who worked up to his property. But I think he had been discussing with one of the previous supervisors, and they're going back and forth. It'd be okay to take care of the trees. He just wanted to know when we were going to be there. And I would feel more comfortable because of the history of the gentleman if supervisor was there to,
Yeah, I get along with it real well.
yeah. Well, that's what I mean. That really would help. We got somebody that gets along real well. We've never gone on his property, but know there was a fiasco with the helicopter deal years ago, and that stirred them up, and we've just been real careful out there. So I've never visited with him, but we just have not done this section there. But it does need to be done. When Mark and I went out there, looked up and down the ditch, it definitely needs to be done. I mean, it's a good example of what your ditches would look like if you didn't have a money program.
Mm-hmm.
But if I could get,
And we, when we did that clean out, we were gonna do that, we could maintain it. And we, maybe if he was with him at that time, that he could go with these guys and make sure that they're doing what he wants them to do and what we want them to do.
well, that's what we could do as well too. I don't know, Bill, if you want to go out there and visit with him, and then what I could do is have my guys talk to him and let him know when we're gonna be out there, so he just doesn't look out his window and see guys going along this ditch without knowing what they're doing.
Yeah.
Now, we don't do that everywhere because obviously we would never get anything done, we do notifications all the time. But if we need to do that, we can do that as well. If you want to visit with them ahead of time and say, hey, these guys are gonna call you when we're gonna be here.
Yeah.
And then we would have to coordinate with everybody, and then Troy could just, or Nate, whoever's in charge up here, could just go talk to him and say, hey, this is what we're doing. And he, he's got a couple of conifers on there that he doesn't want them done, we won't do them.
Yeah.
I think
That
that
one
one's
little stretch, that was wildlife.
Yeah.
We got even though.
yeah. And if my guys coordinate with him, he can just go say, hey, just try to do this stretch. Or we'd like to work with him, but, just stories I've heard from the past, we just kind of shied away from it.
Understandable.
So, but that's a carryover, that was approved last year, so it's not on the list, but it is on the map for this year.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just go ahead and
Second bail, about the only thing that didn't get done last year, then.
that's what we did. And I did also, I kind of made a mistake, up on Bill Creed's up there, usually 2 lap 3, the one that goes over and working back. It was my fault, 3 years ago, I didn't get it on the map for the guys, and so it didn't get done. Well, Bill has had I ran into him the very first year I inspected ditches here, and he took my phone number, and I took his, so if he has any problems out there with brush, he just calls me directly. And he called and asked, well, hey, what's going on? I got all these trees, and I went out and looked at the map, and it wasn't on for, not, it'd be 4 years ago now, but it did get done last year.
Mm-hmm.
But I told him that, that's it, I dropped the ball on it, we kind of got to do this year just to make sure everything's caught up. And did it, another one of those that, a good example of what happens if we don't do the maintenance. So, but him, he's like I said, you probably didn't hear from him.
He's talking to him ahead of time is something that really appeases him as far as he isn't usually in disagreement with what happened. He just
Like I said, the very first year that I was out inspecting all the ditches for the county, I ran into him. There's a dirt road that goes out there. There's a dirt road that just basically goes and he came up with questioning what we were doing and how we were going to do it. And at that time, he took my phone number and he's had it ever since. So
Yeah.
He's called on issues. When he did cut the trees out of there, we went in and treated the regrowth, and then he called like 2 years later. Well, what happens with that is when you take the big trees off the ditch, you've got to kind of keep on top of it because they are going to continue. Once you get the thumb still, you still got all that seed base that continues to grow for a few years. But if he trees this big,
Yeah.
the ditches will be clean out there.
Yep. Yeah, just let me know. I'll give you my cell phone number if you want to.
I'll give you my a card for the board too, to make sure they have my cell phone number. And then if you've got a card, you can take that.
I don't have any cards.
For sure.
Yeah, it's been on my list to do things to do for
Just an example here, I think probably eventually I'll be renting these numbers down. The last time we went through that part of the county and these ditches, the quote was $65,000 for all the ditches. The actual was $56,575. And then, 2 years since, in 15, the quote was $50,500, and the actual was $20,678.90. And last year, the quote was $70,000, and the actual was $27,022. But that was without maybe 6 last 5. That's roll over. But, and something that makes a difference too is, we have a lot of, ditches that don't have very high stem density. So that, the numbers are starting to drop. And these areas where there's trees, where there's, it gets to the point to where the only time you get a lot of trees in a ditch is like when you do a clean out and you dip it, and then you got that open area in the bottom, you get willows and cottonwoods coming in. Or if it's by a farm, there's a seed source right there. A lot of these that are going through your row crop country, you don't have the fences anymore for the birds to perch. So they're not depositing seeds right now. So a lot of those areas, once you get them clean, they stay pretty clean. And you have a lot of access. You got a lot of CRP out in the ditches where you can come in and do some of that stuff with the foliage. If you do have high stem.
I'll make a motion to enter in agreement with BMW control specialist. Or range.
I'll second the motion.
Motion Spencer and a second Derby to enter into an agreement with BMW spraying. All in favor, say aye.
Aye. So that area we were talking about on the filtration one, is that one that's got cleaned up?
No, that was on the last. I mean, I think you really got to have my number.
I've got it. Okay. Thank you, Don.
And like I said, he had it directed. I apologize.
Thank
for
you.
the call that I said, hey, that's not me, it wasn't my guy.
Right.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Man, okay. 9:30 a.m. Denise Ballard, 2 Rivers Insurance, to discuss with possible action for
So I brought to you this morning some of the information that was presented and delivered to you at the IBC meeting, which took place in February. She, of course, has a full binder that has all IBCP trust claims for the last calendar year, as well as all of Winnebago County's claims. So there's additional detail that she has if you would like to see it. I've tried to consolidate for the sake of time for this morning's meeting. So in section 1 is just an update of the current membership. Since we were together last, the 2 groups that have come aboard IBCP would be the City of Algona and Ringgold County. We are currently in the process of adding Calhoun County, and a couple other groups aren't as far in the process as Calhoun, but we have a couple other groups that are looking for entry for July 1 and possibly one for January 1.
Are there any that have left?
No. Okay, on the next page, the IBCP savings analysis. This is represented for the entire trust. So what this represents is what the IGCP plan renewal has been since 2006, which was our first annual renewal, versus what the well-marked trend for that same market segment was. So for example, if you look at the first year, the trend was 8.16, our renewal was 0. That then goes down all the way down to our current year for 7/1/17, trend is 10.17, or it was at that time, and our renewal was 9.43. Year over year, the average trend for Wellmark has been 7.74 and us at 6.02. Now, with that said, what I show for the renewal is the renewal as you receive it from Wellmark. That doesn't mean that's where we ended, but that's what we received. So last year, for example, the renewal from Wellmark was 13.61, but we made a significant number of plan changes. You might recall for your group, you changed your out-of-pocket maximum and the way your family out-of-pocket accumulators were credited, so that, and I had indicated that it would probably see a reduction in your partial self-funded claims by virtue of that change. So
That's the rub, isn't it?
what's that?
Because you take these figures off of plans that don't change, we change so that we get a lower percentage
Right.
and therefore skews this report really.
Yeah, it does. So like, if you look at it and say, well, I'm showing you that the renewal average year is 6.02, it's actually closer to 4%. So I'm being super conservative. Like I could skew it the other direction in our favor and say, we didn't renew at 13.61, we renewed at 9.
But we made a plan adjustment
Right.
to save us money, but it's not a better plan.
Yes, it's lowered your claims. Just so
Well, of course it's lower claims, but it's cost more to the employee.
no, it actually hasn't. Because you didn't change your employee plan, right?
Mm-mm.
No, so you didn't change anything to the employees.
We'll discuss that.
On the next page then shows the loss ratio for all of the IGCP groups. Of course, the client has been whited out with the exception of Winnebago County. So you can see in 2016, your loss ratio, and this is by calendar year because that's the way Walmart tracks your claims. But so your loss ratio for 2016 calendar year was 80%, which is great. So you had a great claims year in 2016. Of course, the year prior to that was not so great, but that's what we expect. You're going to have good years versus bad years. Your average loss ratio from 2007 forward is 75.50. So again, on average, from 2007 through 2016, you're below the target.
I'm just curious, why is that weighted out? It's government services. It's gonna be in their information,
It
in their
is.
meeting, so why is that kept from us?
It's kept from all of the groups just because as a group, we decided that we didn't want like infighting or one group to say, well, we had a bad claims year, therefore it's your fault that we received a 10% renewal or something like that. But you could certainly, Marge Pitts is the decision maker. She's the Clay County auditor, and she has all of the information, and it's up to her to share.
That wouldn't fly with radios at previous. But that's an inside joke.
I mean, again, it's not my decision. If you want to talk to the board president, her name's Marge Pitts with Clay County.
Because that distributes the efforts, you would have to go to several counties and cities that are involved to get that information. It is available, but
It's definitely available.
Sure.
Well, and all the information's there, it's just the counties that it belongs to are whited out.
Right.
Then you'd have to be rather reasonable to look at it and see that you have highs and lows and be upset that someone else has highs and lows.
I agree. I mean, if you have a good understanding of the way the program works, then I think that it's, very reasonable. Okay, and tab 2 then is as it relates to Winnebago County. So I update this each year after a decision's made relative to your premium changes. So 2017 and 18, I haven't added this year yet because the decision hasn't been made, but you can see what's gone on since 2007 inception. So in 2007 and 2008, when you came on to IGCP for the 2008-9 plan year, there was a reduction in the fully insured premium of 32.61%. However, because you were partially self-funded, we had to add costs there to cover your claims exposure, making your savings upon entry of 14.4%. The average increase in your insured premium since that time is 2.6. That's year-over-year average. Increase in partial self-funding 1%. Increase in total cost 3.2%. Your reserve balance through June of 16 last plan year was 34,135. However, that's grown, and you'll see that in the coming pages. This is the 2016 claims year for Winnebago County, so you can see average membership, average employees, first, followed by average membership, excuse me. Monthly premium, that's the premium that would be paid directly to Walmart. Your claims by month, and the group loss ratio. Okay, on the following page then is the kind of the second set of claims. This is going to be the partial self-funded claims. So because the county purchases a higher out-of-pocket and deductible from Walmart than what the employees receive, the claims that fall between those two factors are paid by the county's reserve. So in 2016-17, this is by plan year. The funds received to pay claims is $81,668. And the actual claims paid to providers is $64,035. So 17.6 to the positive. When I annualize that out, it's we're looking at ending your plan year, assuming all things stay the same, around $96,000. So last year you finished at $129,000. So that's where that reduction in claims is taking place by virtue of the way those out-of-pocket maximum on the family contracts are being accumulated. So that should be about an extra 26.4 over what we predicted. Does that make sense? Okay, on the next page is the high claimants or the shock loss report for Winnebago County. So this is specific to your group and the claims that are in excess of $10,000, which are tracked individually by Walmart. So the fourth column in where it's in the indicator is S, D, or E. S represents spouse. D is dependent, which would be a child, and E would be the employee. All of your large claimants are currently active, which means they're all still covered under the plan. And the claims paid amount is indicative of the amount of dollars that Walmart paid to a specific provider or providers relative to that specific diagnosis in the and its therapeutic category. So the first one is a spouse between 45 and 54, and 76.8 was paid, and diagnosis was cancer treatment. The following page is the Winnebago County Receipts and Disbursements Report, which is received by the auditor's office on a monthly basis from employee benefit systems. This is going to track, exactly as it says, all money received and then the disbursements in each category. So you can see that at the bottom left, the claims account balance is $51,822. That's the reserve that money is pulled from to pay claims, and that's where the new money, the PSF new money, goes into. The trust account balance is kind of a holding tank when EBS is waiting for, either a refund or maybe a charge from a carrier like Walmart. So let's say, for instance, because of timing, we paid a bill and we received money from you for a new employee, but Walmart hasn't charged us for that employee yet. So that, again, that's just kind of a holding tank, kind of money in, money out as we're waiting for billing to catch up. Okay, this page represents the benefits, both as purchased from Walmart and distributed to the employees. So the gray area is the high parameters that we're purchasing from Walmart. So, and we're showing you again no changes for your planning plan here. We'd be happy to run any alternates and look at any design modifications that you would like us to. Okay, this next page then represents the renewal. So this looks a little different than what it has in past years, so I'm going to take a few minutes to walk through it. So the renewal as we receive it from Walmart is 9.43%. So every group within the IGHCP Trust receives that same renewal, 9.43%. Then how that renewal affects each entity varies by virtue of plan design changes or changes to department self-funding. So in this most recent plan year, we had a little bit of a change from what rates were set at in July versus where they are today. So if we focus on the top yellow section, you can see the Wellmark premium change from 602.53 on a single contract, and it dropped down to 584.45 under the current premium. Same with family. That's a 3% change in premium. So the reason for that is the federal government made a non-scheduled suspension of the insurer fee, which is one of the taxes that are built into your premiums for ACA. Okay, so that tax of 3% is blended into your Wellmark premium. And so when the federal government said effective January 1st, 2017, we're going to suspend that tax, Wellmark's premium then was going to reduce by that same percentage, 3%. So we had a mid-year premium change effective January 1. Now the idea is that that tax is going to come back January 1st, 2018, which means we're going to have midway through your plan year, again, a premium change, but this time it's going to go up to 3% instead of down. From what we're being told, in industry news, from Wellmark, et cetera, is that it's the likelihood of it coming back is very slim. So it probably won't come back. Okay, so we don't anticipate that 3% change in January, but as it reads today, it's supposed to. So when we received the renewal from Wellmark of 9.43%, our initial understanding was they were going to increase the premiums by 9.43% based on the current premium, what you're actually being billed for today, which would be that $584.45 single Wellmark premium and $1461.13. Okay, so the reason that I have showed you July and current is because the increase actually was applied to the July premium. So in order to make the math work, I had to show you both July and current because Wellmark used July's premium to factor the renewal as opposed to your current premium. So the 9.43 was taken from the 602.53, not the 584.45. So the numbers represented below for July, the Wellmark premium at $659.37 and $1648.44. To make that math work, you have to take 9.43 times the July premium. Does that make sense? Okay, the other factors that I left the same, so I didn't make any changes in their partial self-fund claims funding. The fees stayed the same, with the exception of the IGHCP legal fund. The IGHCP board made a motion to action at the renewal meeting in February to remove the 50-cent fee from the premium for all IGHCP members. We've been through, reviewing all of the bylaws, the 20-day agreement, legal aspects as it relates to IGCP, and there's an account balance, so it was their feeling that they didn't need to continue to collect 50 cents. And John Finnegan is the Human Resource Director with the City of Kansas. He's the treasurer for IGCP, so he is responsible for this IGCP legal fund account balance reports and stuff. I don't have access to that, but if you ever wanted to see those, you could reach out to him with the copies.
He's the city of what?
City of Kansas. So by adjusting the Walmart premium by their renewal and the removal of the 50-cent fee, that makes an increase here by the county 8.16% if you keep all other factors the same. In the next section, you're planning on the ancillary benefits. Delta dental plans you offer to your employees, and those are paid for entirely by the employees. You can change the premium there. The abusus is also voluntary, and there is a slight premium increase on the abusus with a 2-year rate hold. Followed by the benefits, which is the life insurance, voluntary life insurance, and benefit with premium. So that's what I have for you. If you would like to see any alternate designs within the IGCP portfolio, show you, or if you want to make any adjustments to the current employee benefits that you offer your employees, and you have to run that for you as well.
Have you seen any trends out there for government and switching to something that they're not utilizing now?
There's always a little bit of movement each year to HSA plans. We have a few groups within IGCP utilizing HSAs. You know, an HSA to an employee is almost identical to what a partial self-fund is to an employer. You know, the difference being that if the partial self-fund, the employer manages those funds that aren't used, and that roll over from year to year, whereas under an HSA, it would be the employee that manages that. So we've seen some of that. There's a little more interest in self-funding going on in the open market, I think, because of high increases that we're seeing. We've talked to a few counties that have reached out to us that received in excess of 30% rate increases, and you know, looking at the self-funded market. But outside of that, I think a lot of people are nervous about what's going on with healthcare and what's going to happen with reform, if it's going to be repealed, replaced. And so I think a lot of people are sitting tight, but
We have a neighboring county not too far away that is self-funded, plans to write in the news. I'm just curious, we were on the lower end of the scale as far as loss ratio.
yeah, self-funding is certainly an option. It's kind of like taking the training wheels off of what you're doing now and going bigger, because self-funding obviously is instead of having just that minimum risk between, I think it's $3,000 per person for you guys. And 4,000. So, you're pay as a county for the claims is gonna be the difference between what Walmart's fully insured parameters and what the employees have. So that's gonna be $4,000, $5,000 per person, whereas if you go self-funded, then it's probably gonna be more in the neighborhood of $40,000 is what you'd be on the hook for, depending on what type of plan you design. You did make changes at the IGCP trust level this year to the plans themselves because we did so much last year. We redesigned almost every IGCP plan last year, so we didn't do that this year, but we're certainly gonna look at that, down the road as the pending goes.
Anybody's got any questions?
I guess I know further questions, I'll make a motion to approve the, contract with IGHCP Two Rivers Health Insurance.
I'll second that. Motion from Derby and second from Jensvold to approve the contract with Two Rivers Insurance to discuss, for health insurance. All in favor, say aye. There's a discussion. Oh, discussion?
I just need to say for the record, I'm really miffed at us going forward with Two Rivers in light of the information that we have. It literally boggles my mind that we're making this decision today when you don't have to. And even Denise said that there are other plans that we could possibly look at. So, I'm disappointed. Yes, I'll say that.
And then you say, look at as within these options.
Well, she even said herself that there are different options. Just that alone, we should probably have put this off to explore those options. But in light of the information the three of us know, I am disappointed that we're going forward with Two Rivers as our agent.
Now I understand where you're coming from.
Well, if you understand that, Bill, then why are you going along with it?
Because I haven't been, well, I guess we haven't researched to find something else that's out there that is going to be as reasonably priced, I guess.
Well, you see, that's in the eye of each agency and even in Wellmark or us itself. Because you can put all fancy sorts of equations into this booklet that was just presented to us, trends and such forth. But in those trends, I don't know how many thousands of numbers went into that. And there's no way that Denise can sit here and say to us that we're saving money by going with this because we don't know for a fact what our premium would be with another agent or if we were all by ourselves. It's impossible to predict that. Now you can get to that figure once you do a census. But over the last 10 years, and this comes right from the vice president of Wellmark himself, who I talked to. If you take a trend over 10 years, I asked him, is it safe to assume that we could save money? And he said, there's no way you can say that. And so, again, I'll stand on this. In light of the information all three of us have, I guess I'm disappointed.
And for the record, all of the trend information and information that went into the booklet is from Walmart.
Yes, it is. Right. But how many thousands go into that trend?
How many thousands of what?
Of the information, the premiums.
It's
The trend is for basically,
Walmart's large.
right, exactly. And so there could be, theoretically, there could be one client that has a multi-million dollar claim and skews that percentage. And theoretically. So unless we were to look at every claim and who they were and what their health was, you can't make the claims that you just made. Nobody can. No agent can. I'm not castigating on that. No agent can do that. So. I guess going
Along with what he says, we were told that a lot of things didn't exist that turned out to exist as far as some of the deception, if you want to call it, or whatever it is.
What,
I think we need to, I don't know.
I mean, we're really close. Mr. Allman is out this whole week, or I think until Thursday, but we're really close to having it done, and then it'll all be public information. But we are gonna continue to stand very firmly in our initial and beginning position that we took, which was IGHCP was put together with full disclosure with Walmart, the insurance division, everybody put it together in good faith and partnership. We, at no time, felt that we were deceptive. Did we have disclosure of commission that was built into the Walmart premium in 2005? We didn't. Whether it was IGHCP or I was a broker on a manufacturing client in 2005 through 2010. Disclosure wasn't a thing in the insurance industry, and Mike, you know that because you understand the business, but, Walmart didn't disclose it, not out of deception. We didn't disclose it, not out of deception. It just wasn't, it wasn't a line item situation back then before reform. When it became that way, we went to Walmart and said, how do we disclose on IGHCP? Because it's net of commissions. We don't receive any commissions from Walmart. And we were told the trust was excluded from that because it was net of commissions. The only person receiving commissions on IGHCP was our general agent. Okay, so I mean, we still stand firmly in that position, and I'm not, that's not gonna change no matter how many times you ask me, because it's the truth. And we've proved it over and over and over again to the division. And again, we're very, very close to having it done. I'm not involved in meetings, but my supervisors, et cetera, are working very closely with the division to getting it wrapped up.
And granted, no doubt that is the truth, and it's legal, but isn't ethical. And I guess that's why I'm disappointed, mainly, is because this has been brought to the attention of this board for 5 years, and we've been overpaying our insurance premiums for 5 years. And so, you can proceed with what you want.
Well, that's your opinion that you've been overpaying. In my opinion, it was a justifiable thing.
You didn't even know, Terry, that we were paying that.
Well, it was built
Well,
I mean, if I remember correctly, I don't know this off the top of my head, but if I remember correctly, before IGHCP changed and the commission was pulled out in a line item, I think you were actually paying less than you are now.
Mm-hmm.
So what we were charging before disclosure was less than what is being disclosed now, because the way we used to do it was a percentage of premium. So, if you were paying 2% submission of what the Walmart premium was, that created a number. Well, that 2% is going to be different than a neighboring county because their premiums are different. So it's 2% of a different number creates a different dollar amount.
Still an administrative.
It's not an administrative fee. You're paying administrative fee.
Well,
I don't.
you know what, it probably would be best just to let this, I guess, ferret itself out.
I agree, but you're certainly, nobody's holding you hostage in this program, I can tell you that for sure.
No, I
So,
agree, I agree.
But somebody somewhere along the line knew that it was there.
well, Sears knew it was there, Walmart knew it was there, groups that came to us and said, can you break it out and tell us how much is there, knew it was there, and we did it for them. So, yeah, I mean, there's definitely people that knew it was there.
Did they know it was? Did they know it was wrong or unethical or?
No, I mean, what the problem was is that it came to us medical commissions. We designed it that way. We designed it that way because we wanted to be able to create competitive advantage for everybody we met. Let me give you an example. If I'm competing to get a group into IGCP right now with another trust, the consulting fee built in IGCP today is a $10 fee for a single contract and a $25 fee for a family contract. If I come in and I'm high, let's say I'm competing against United Healthcare, my premiums are higher than United Healthcare. In the old days, I would have reduced the $10 and reduced the $25 to get competitive. And there were some that we weren't making commission on, or we were making less than 1% because we had to lower it in order to beat the competitor.
One question. Is the premium, is your fee, you get a fee from Wellmark?
No.
Not necessarily a fee. So as
We don't get
an
any money.
agent for us, the premium we would pay, there is nothing built in for you.
Yeah, and that's what goes on every Walmart form you sign, it says that. It's a Walmart paper that says that. And the vice president is a female, Laura Jackson. She'll tell you that as well. There's no money, not 1 cent, that comes from Walmart to us. 100%. Yep. There is $0 that come from Walmart to Two Rivers, period. 0 for IGCP. And Laura Jackson, she's the vice president, and she'll tell you that as well. And if you look at all your Walmart documents that you sign, it says it right on there, that there's $0 or commission built into the product. Yeah, that definitely shouldn't be a question.
Do you think there's somewhere else?
You know what, let's just let the insurance board, let's wait till then.
Like
You
you
can
see,
go ahead and do it, I think that's fine. I think there's misinformation out there, and it doesn't do any good for us to keep going back and forth. So I think the best would be to let the investigators ferret it out.
What's our deadline on?
We usually start sending out renewal packets, what, end of April? I mean,
You're looking at usually,
because we still have,
And Walmart needs the information. I think May 15th is their deadline for the July renewal.
because we have to have it in our payroll by July 1st so, yeah, we usually send out, I'm thinking May 10th is when we normally send out our renewal papers to the employees.
I would just assume us all be in agreement on this. Is there somewhere you think we should put it out for bids or?
Well, there's no way to go out for bids at this time.
We're almost too late now.
We are too late right now.
So we'll go with it for this year and then see where the whole thing washes out.
And that's exactly what we said last year.
It hasn't washed out yet.
Well, that's true. You got a great point there.
Okay, well, I guess we got a motion under. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed?
Aye. just for the record to the public, in the last year, I have voted to go with this because of the information that's been made public. Okay. Now for the 10:10 a.m. bid letting. I suppose we could say 10. We're 10 minutes late. Thank you for being patient. Bid letting for DD 54, 52, 17, last 6 bids.
Do you want to just like announce that we're opening the joint meeting?
Oh, all right. And we're opening the joint meeting for the bid letting of DD 54, 52, 17, last 6 bids.
I'll make a motion. We have to have a motion to open the joint.
Yeah, we can.
I made that motion.
Derby, okay.
Anybody out there want to second it? Second it to open the joint meeting. All in favor, say aye. Terry made the motion to open it. I just said I would accept it.
Okay,
We're
we're ready. Excuse me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Bids. I'll start with the ones on top. This one is A1 Excavating and Drainage from Joyce.
Nice letter opener.
They have a bid bond for 5% of their bid. They've acknowledged addendum number 1.
What was that?
They have acknowledged addendum number 1. Their total bid, Division 1 plus Division 2 is $149,017.00. Next bid is Larson Contracting on Lake Mills. They also have a bid bond for 5% of their bid. They have acknowledged addendum number 1 as well.
Total Division One plus Division Two bid is $120,168.30. Next bid is Corey Jurgens Construction out of Esterville. Yeah, the bid bond for 5% of their bid. Acknowledge name number one. Their total Division One plus Division Two is $162,538.00. Next bid is Yes and Excavating and Trucking out of Clarks Grove, Minnesota. You have a bid bond? 5%. Jensen.
Yeah, situation like that, I mean, total no figures, yeah, how does it work?
Let's see, 5% of their bid on the bond.
There's no figure yet like that.
It's averaged on the bid. Yep. Sometimes they'll have a check included for cashier's check. Sometimes if they do it ahead of time, they can tell the bond company what their bid's going to be. Most of them don't do that. And most bond companies will just say bonded for 5% on their bid. Acknowledge amendment number one. The total Division One plus Division Two bid, $141,106.00. No cents. The last bid is Rognus Brothers Excavating out of Lake Mills.
bid bond for
5%.
5%.
Acknowledge
Addendum number 1.
as well. Total Division 1,
Division 2 bid,
$198,553.
$553.
553.
553
and
and 50 cents.
Use the calculator. Even Chris's desk.
Okay.
Yeah,
Confirm
probably will
lower two ones. And right now, I think
from
memory serves me,
Larson.
Larson,
appears to be,
a little bidder at this point.
but I'll go
Double check.
these. Do that.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, unless we get out of that meeting, we can't
Yeah.
take care of it now where they're gone.
So we can
It
just
shouldn't take him long.
Just sit there and exchange pleasantries.
I think so.
we do see.
They live in a different world out there than we do. Different planet. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but you go out there and they complain about it not having representation.
Yeah, there you go.
They said you had one credit on the ice there too, before they wouldn't even trip this year.
Didn't want to have to reimburse later. Of course, the ones that are equipment, they're the ones that he was really happy to see it happen. Yeah.
No, no, he's a good crop. We figured together. And out there, we walked 40 miles.
Miles and 200
Flights
flights
of stairs and I gained
4 pounds.
You let slip on the bus.
I don't.
Well, you drove it.
I could have.
It's all muscle
Did what I reshaped it?
Is that what it was?
Oh yeah, yeah. Had nothing to do with the fact that they gotta feed them kids 3 to 4 times a day, and I'm not man enough to say no.
Hey Ron, what did you ever do with your rock that you found out? You set it down. Still there. Still there. That's one. No. Yeah, they're doing one there. They're painting it now. Yeah. All painted off. They approached me the other day about the red rock. I said, yeah, but I don't know you're red with this stuff. Tear up the field some. I can't remember what that about. Grass or so, or? No, Jerry, remaining guy, Jerry. What, no? Remaining guy, Jerry.
Oh, Jerry,
Yeah. He's looking for one for welcome center. Put one out there. So mine might be 6 and set it up there. You must be on that committee out there.
Can't believe they can't on the state and to let them have that rock that's on the east side. You know, in between.
On the interstate.
Yeah.
Because that
That always gets.
analyzed.
It'll be quite a bit.
That'd be an easy.
A few years ago, my brother bought one of his fields. I went across it in Homeowner Farm one year and it tripped 4 bottoms. So then I got the loader turned down. I thought, well, I'll get that rock out of there. You know, ended up with a backhoe out there and digging it deeper and putting it, rolling it in.
Sorry, is that a state property? Is that part of the state?
I'm not sure.
It was state funded, but I think so.
I don't know.
I don't remember what Jerry.
You going over to,
Well, I was hoping you would. I was thinking about not going. Well, no, actually, I probably I just got a message. They canceled the track. Even though they said the wrong town on the message.
For tonight?
Yeah,
Are you going to Clarion?
yeah.
They canceled it?
I believe, but except for they said the track in Belmont is what the message said. And maybe it's the middle school girls track. Okay, but evidently the varsity
Oh,
is still
shoot.
on. No, you don't know the school. You just could probably read this better than I did. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you've got a little vested interest over there.
Thursday night, we go to Buffalo Center.
Yeah. We got a.
isn't it?
It's
Unreal.
Yes. He got mad at me last month. I don't like they have an increase on inflation. I brought it up, we talk about it. We have an automatic, especially if it's $650,000. We have an automatic.
And we got the severe lack of bus drivers. No way I'm gonna get it. One of them's gonna have his.
What we do it.
Did they replace,
We're in the process of it yet.
Are they still? The gal that ran the meetings over there, she was, taking some garbage out to her burn hole. The burn hole was already going and she tripped, fell into the fire, broke her shoulder, couldn't get herself out, burned her. She ended up dying last December. Yeah, she didn't make it. Yeah, she was actually had sent a message the week before that she was hoping to return to work. And then all of a sudden I got the message that she had our age, probably. I'd say right close between you and me, I guess. Yeah, well, gee whiz. Yeah. People say it's VHS or whatever. You know, I don't know if it was a dart hole or just a little burn, burn spot. Oh, yeah. Escape access, yeah.
There's,
All right.
in the essence of time, I'll check the other ones later,
Yeah.
but I'm guessing there's gonna be money. There's $21,000 difference between them and the next one, I think.
Just a joint meeting.
Yeah. You made a motion then?
I'm sorry.
A motion from Swears and second from Stanger to approve the contract for 54-52-17 Lat 6 ditch to Larson Contracting for $120,168.30. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay. Motion, yeah. You need joint meeting. During the joint meeting anyway. We didn't have to make a motion to go over it, did we? We need to make a motion to go over it. All right, so you make the motion to adjourn the joint meeting.
Chris.
And I'll second it. Motion swears and second Jeff vote to adjourn the joint meeting for DD 52.
Yeah.
54, 52, 17, last 6 pitch. All in favor? Say aye. Aye. All right. Thank you for your support.
Jerry, look at the agenda they avoided.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. He was doing something else. He said as long as you got it covered, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know. He's out far.
Yeah, it's a bad week. We have 4 funerals this week. And
Yeah, we get a meeting Monday, so racetracks. We got something with the liquor license. We gotta come in Thursday, do that. Coming up, it's gonna be. Run racetrack. Any other racetrack? Yeah, it's different. One retires, it was.
there you go.
I just announced out there.
I'm doing,
Whoever's on the place, okay, great, have a nice day. Bring on the basketball.
All right. Well,
We just have something at 10:30 yet, and then
yeah, just
I'll go get Elizabeth.
10:30 now, so, yeah.
Assistant Jerry, look at the agenda and avoid little confrontation.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good day. Okay, 10:30 a.m. Elizabeth Fair, Governor Thompson, PC to discuss audit report with possible action.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, we're pretty boring this year, so
Okay.
I'm going to hit the highlights, and I guess if you have questions, please let me know. We're just going to go from there, but within the audit report, page 2 is our independent auditor's report. And again, this year we have issued an unmodified opinion on financial statements for the
Sorry, I got distracted and forgot to hit the mouth.
Okay.
Yeah, I just looked at mine. So that's not right.
So we have issued an opinion for the financial statements, and that letter just goes ahead and details that, look at every single transaction that's based on custom sales, and that we have gone ahead and issued an unmodified opinion based on that.
Can you test examples? What's the definition of that?
Test and samples, that means we don't look at every single transaction, we use a random number generator. So when we come in, Julie gives us the beginning and ending miscellaneous receipt number, Carla gives us the beginning and ending chapter warrant number, and then we use a number generator to go ahead and select which ones that we want to look at. So we kind of go ahead and proceed from there. And then within this audit book, again, there are 3 sets of financial statements. There's the total accrual financial statements that include all of the county's capital assets and long-term debt. There's the modified accrual financial statements that are required by the Department of Management, and that's kind of otherwise known as the GAAP report that has to be filed with the state on December 1st. And then because the county budget's on a cash basis, we also have included in here a budget to actual cash comparison too. So, in the pages following that auditor's report, we have the management's discussion and analysis, and that just kind of hits the financial highlights for the year. It talks about, if receipts have gone up or gone down. It kind of explains the different bases of accounting that are presented in this book. And it also gives the county a chance to explain any budgetary changes that were made during fiscal 16, and also talk about the economic factors that were taken into consideration for the budget of fiscal 17, and that's the piece that Harlan and Teresa usually work on for us. So that is in those pages that follow the auditor's report. The actual financial statements, start on page 13, and these are the full accrual ones. These are the ones that include the capital assets and the related debt. And we have a statement of debt position, which in the private sector would be your balance sheet. And then we also have the statement of activities, it's on page 15, and that would be your income statement in the private sector. And for this fiscal year, the net position, we did increase $768,000, so the county had a healthy year this year. A solid financial position. On page 17 and 18, we have the modified accrual balance sheet, which again, this is for the draft report. There is one thing I would like to look at on this one, page 18. The urban renewal 2 has a negative cash balance of $76,000. And this is one of the TIF funds that is being, you're collecting TIF dollars to go ahead and make principal and interest payments. Within this fund also is where that debt refunding is. So right now there's $15 million sitting at Bankers Trust as part of the escrow account. So that $15 million is part of your cash basis fund balance. So when you look at a general ledger printout month by month, you're seeing that there's a $15 million balance in that. But really, the county's portion of the cash for that is in the negative, because right now the county is not collecting enough TIF dollars to make the principal and interest payments on that debt. And I know Carla and I had kind of discussed that at audit time. And, you know, looking forward, because at that point you were in the budget process and, you know, just kind of trying to project, you know, when those bonds become callable, if there's going to be enough cash available to go ahead and call that. So something to keep in mind in your budget process and to keep an eye on. And, you know, hopefully you're collecting enough to go ahead and fulfill those obligations. Okay. Following
Can I
that,
just, which is why it's important that you contact your legislators and make sure that they continue to give us the backfill for the business property tax credit, because if they don't, then we're going to have to up the taxes for the taxpayers even more. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, on page 22, we have the statement of changes, which again, that is modified annual basis for your governmental funds. And that's showing the revenues, expenditures, and changes in position. And again, you know, we've had an increase in the fund balance, partially due to the issuance of debt, because we did have the issuance of a refunding bond, and there was also the issuance for the public safety center. So those balances, you know, will be sent down as the costs of the project are incurred for the public safety center. Okay, following that, we have the on page 28, 29, and 30 is the information for the proprietary fund, which is the internal service and employee health fund. And again, here we have net income in this fund for this year, which is a very positive thing. Health insurance is something that a lot of the counties that we deal with have been struggling, you know, how with premiums fluctuating so much and trying to, you know, not have to have the employees bear the cost of that. So seeing a positive balance there tells me that you guys are doing a very good job in managing those costs and keeping an eye on that fund. So it's good to see a positive income there. So, page 32 starts the notes for financial statements. This just gives you a lot of detail as far as accounting policies and procedures. So if you ever are having trouble falling asleep at night, just pick this up and it will put you right down. But it gives you all the specifics, all the accounting verbiage as far as, you know, what cash and investments are, what debt is defined as, how it's reported, what the accounting policies and procedures are for that. These notes also give you more detailed information on the capital assets, on the long-term debt, what the amortization schedules are for that debt. It talks in detail about your other post-employment benefits and your IFRS liability, which that was new last year. I know we spent some time talking about that last year with the IFRS liability that's included on the county's financial statements, and the actuarial opinion that goes into that. IFRS does hire an actuary to come in and assess what each county's proportionate share is, or what each participating entity's proportionate share of the liability is, and then we know how much to record. Well, the notes on that.
In your opinion, why do you feel the populace of the public employees is upset? Because it's a defined benefit, so I mean, mean, they're upset with Governor Branston. I mean, either right or wrong, but why do you think they are? Because they aren't using anything.
They want it to be, I don't know, I have friends on both sides. It's hard for me to say one way or the other, but, everybody, it's been a certain way for so long. And I think there's a prospect of change is a little uncertain. And I think that's probably what's, just because.
I mean, if the public was keeping up with this, they might be irate.
Yeah. So, like I said, the notes just kind of give all this extra added information. So, if you have any questions or comments on any of that, I'd be happy to address that. But I just assume, I'll skip ahead and go on to. On page 57 is the cash basis financial statement, and that is the budgetary comparison of the receipts and disbursements. The actual column is all the cash that went in and out of the governmental funds. The funds not required to be budgeted, that's your drainage, to get to your net. And so then we go ahead and we compare the net to the final budget to get the ranges that are indicated. And we did have 2 budget over expenditures in the non-program service area and also the debt service area. The other thing that I usually look at is the intergovernmental revenue line and the grant dollars. Usually that's a large variance. This year it's not. But usually with the grant dollars you budget for never come in the way you think they're going to. So, but again, this year we did not have that. In the pages following that, we have some more required supplementary information regarding the budgetary reporting and regarding the IPERS pension liability that you're required to report. And then on page 64, we start the combining information for the non-major. And this just gives more detail. It's the combined balance sheet and statement of position, statement of net position for all the little funds of the county. They all get aggregated and are presented in one column at the front, but this just gives you the detail for each. Okay, so now if there aren't any other questions, we can skip ahead to the good part, the findings that everybody wants to know about. On page 78 is our independent auditor's report on internal control. As part of the audit, we do fill out internal control questionnaires and sit down and visit about internal control with the department heads in order to plan our test work and assess the risk, which leads us into the first finding, which is the segregation of duties on page 80. And this is an old friend, we have it every year, just because you don't have enough people in each office to completely segregate duties. The goal is to completely segregate the custody of the cash with the record keeping of the cash. And because we don't have, several employees in each office to completely segregate everything, we're ready to go ahead and put this comment in.
No, it's almost kind of a conflict. We're trying to overlap duties just for moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if somebody's missing, they can still function.
Right.
So it's kind of a conflict there.
And the goal is to have employees cross-trained so that if somebody is gone, somebody steps in and fills that. And just to be aware, there has been fraud this last year. Winnebago County had it. The treasurer's office here 2 months ago, and Sarah Boyle has had it a couple of times, along with others that have been in the news. And so segregation of duties is a big deal, and if somebody has to be gone for a certain amount of time, they actually encourage people to take a week vacation at a time and have somebody else step in and fulfill those duties while they're gone. That's actually, how they would have covered one in Winnebago, if they would have required annual vacation for a week to have somebody else come in and do those duties while she was gone. Then that one probably would have been caught a little bit quicker than it was.
How did it get caught?
Actually, we had concerned citizens that called in because their name had ended up published as a delinquent taxpayer, and they had their tax receipt. So that's how it started. That's kind of what got the ball rolling, and then it just kind of snowballed from there.
So she had taken the cash
Mm-hmm.
when the person made the
Yeah.
payment.
Yeah, and then as additional tax payments came in, she was kiting, so she was making up for that, and unfortunately, it was at the end of the collection period, so particular taxpayer had come in and paid cash, had gotten a receipt, and then saw their name in the list in the newspaper, and, you know, said something about it, and came in and they started investigating, and it just kind of snowballed from there.
In your opinion, should that have been caught earlier, or?
That's hard to say.
Yeah, I know. What, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just making a.
Maybe, maybe not.
Reason.
But, you know, that's not an audit that we participate in, but, you know, hearing different things from the state auditor's office, it sounded like it was small amounts, so it might not have ever, registered. So,
Just had to hope that the people she was selecting didn't pay attention to the name of the paper.
I guess, yeah.
Sooner or later, it's just almost impossible to get away with in the long run, I would think.
It is. It seems like everybody gets caught, it's just a matter of how much they can decide. The next one we have is financial reporting, and during the audit, we had a material amount of transfers, accounts receivable and accounts payable, that had been either incorrectly recorded or not recorded at all. There were proposed adjusting journal entries that were made, and so the financial statements properly include this. The warrants for the transfers, it was just a matter of having a wrong account number, and so it got recorded as a receipt and a disbursement instead of as a transfer. But really, that wasn't money coming in and money going out, so, you know, it was just a matter of collecting, of reclassifying that from a receipt and disbursement to a transfer. But moving forward, we have all those numbers corrected, so should be good to go. On page 81, we have a finding about preparation of full disclosure financial statements, and this comment, this finding is required to be in here because we don't have a CPA on staff that can prepare the GAAP report and the full accrual financial statements for external reporting, along with all of this related footnote disclosure. So because we assist with that preparation, I'm required to go ahead and put this finding in there. But I do work with Carla when it comes to issuing the financial statements. She gets to read everything and approve before we go ahead and issue. So that way the county is assuming all the responsibility for the financial statements, even though we help with the preparation of that. On page 82, we started the findings related to the statutory reporting. And part of the state auditor's office requirement for us, we have a code components that we kind of have to go and spot check certain things. We do have budget comment. We've already talked about how the non-program and debt service functions were overspended during the year. We also had a couple of departments that had overexpended. And so the recommendation then is just to, keep track of those expenditures, have the departments, watching their expenditures every month and letting Carla know when they need to go ahead and increase or decrease appropriations and amend the budget. Number 4 is the business transactions, and the Code of Iowa designates $1,500 as the potential conflict of interest if you're doing business with related parties. So if you have disbursements over $1,500 in a fiscal year, it could be a potential conflict of interest. However, you can use competitive bidding, or if the related party is not participating in the acquisition of services, then that is our right too. Then you can go ahead and do business with those related parties. So we did have a couple that were over that $1,500 threshold, but the proper procedures were followed in going ahead and acquiring those services. So this just becomes a disclosure or a transparency disclosure. It's not a finding, it's just, for public's information.
Why is the 905 bigger than that?
Because it is a related party. It doesn't meet the threshold, but it is a related party, and the Code of Iowa requires that we disclose all related party transactions.
Oh, it's either or.
Okay, and then the last of the findings then are on page 84. With the sheriff's office, the general and trust accounts didn't balance to the bank rec at the end of the month, again at June 30th. And so that's something that Sandy is working on to try to go ahead and get that squared around. And also it was noted that the deposits weren't really made regularly or timely. And again, that was something that, my staff had gone ahead and visited with her about, and hopefully, she's going to go ahead and make those corrections. The other finding that we have is with the E911 service board budget. And again, with them, they had disbursements that exceeded the amount budgeted, so they should have done a budget amendment before the disbursements are allowed to exceed the amount budgeted. Are there any questions or concerns? everyone was very prepared for us, had everything ready to go, and, it went really smoothly. I appreciate all the work that all the officers, put in getting ready for the audit, and, it makes it really easy to audit and do my job when, they're prepared and ready to go for us. So I really appreciate the efforts.
So it's looking by it.
Well, and I know
Feeling lucky on that random selection.
Carla and Julie have been working through some yucky stuff with that whole bond escrow account. It's not fun. It's very complicated with the accounting for that and the budgeting for that. And Julie's, it's not very straightforward. And so, going through and doing that, it's a lot of work to make it easy to follow. And, they've been doing a really nice job. Tips are also tricky, so. A lot of tricky accounting, and it's very complicated and complex, and the software doesn't really make it either.
No.
I'll make a motion to accept the Gardner Thompson audit report.
I'll second the motion. Motion Stetser and second Derby to accept the Gardner Thompson audit report. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
Yeah, again, if you need anything, please let me know. All right. Thank you for your
Thank
time.
Okay, to number 5. Engineer will discuss secondary road vendors.
Oh, good morning.
All right.
One thing directly on the agenda and one other thing to discuss specifically. I believe I mentioned last week we have received a solicited quote for pickups, 3 of them. We received a quote back today from 4 City Ford, and both bids came in very good. Remember, we bought a couple of trucks over the past few years, and this one come in $25,831 per vehicle. Very good pricing, less than estimated. So I'll have these brought back to you next week for formal approval. If you guys are acceptable to that, and I can answer any questions about them if you'd like.
So you had bids, other bids too?
We didn't receive any other bids. However, we did ask for City Auto Center and for City Ford to dealerships in the county. Just received the one. Our last 3, I believe, that's on to City Ford.
Where's that way? Sure.
On to other things in that road department.
Sure. Do you guys want to have any questions on that? I can bring a resolution next year. We'll table it next week. Yeah. Other road related.
What's the schedule for that lowering of that culvert that is affecting the clean out of the ditch? So, yeah.
5/20.
Yeah.
Emergency stuff. far as, intakes in the ditch, I've got one that's gonna be, worked on here shortly up by Ray. Ditch of the right blacktop. Is that okay to have someone else do it, or is that something you guys like to do? We're trying to find a plug in the tile in that line there, and the two places that they're gonna dig, well, one of them they're gonna, that one is busted, and the water's just standing in it. It's in the west side of the ditch, where Trent Schmidt lives, so just directly east of his place. Or right at the junction of Scarville and Great Blacktop. The intake there has been busted for years. The metal top of it has been busted off, and I don't know whether it's sucked stuff down underneath there. It's plugged under the road, but we haven't figured it out yet. So. And they're going to start digging on that maybe today. I forgot to ask you guys if I was going to call you last Friday, and I forgot. Holland. I had to give up on the contract that they've been telling me for the last 4 months they were going to get out there anyway. And they're supposed to get working right away permit, you say?
Yeah, it's the formal process. All of these things we kind of from working on a file, working.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have approval, but instead, working right away permits just with the follow-up.
I need to call him, and I don't know if he started on it yet or not. He's repaired another one first, and then he's moving to that one, which is the other one's out in the middle of it. We're not exactly sure where the plug is.
Do that. Probably that. Whatever it was back. So. What? You close the railroad tracks, and then on the north side of the fence.
Yeah. That's the concern. That water backed up even on the north side of the road there. The landowner on the north side of the road is the one who's requesting. There's got to be a plug here. And to me, it seems like it's probably with what water is standing in the field, in Kookhouse Field, and just north of his place. I mean, the plug's got to be further down than up in that area. There is a tree growing near the tile up there, but I don't think it's close enough. I think it's a willow tree growing up there. There's a bunch of trees growing in there. About 100 feet? It's not that big yet, but there's a bunch of suckers out in those government acres out there that need to be taken care of, I think. No, I think that's just private CRP. Yes. Sure.
He should have my number.
Yeah. He's just gonna open it up, and we're just trying to figure out where the flow of stuff is. So the tile that it connects into on the east side, the main there, whatever, that seems to be flowing fine when you look down in there. Oh, as far as brown bales being removed from ditches, who gets to do that? Obviously, the guy that left it there isn't coming to get it, and it's been there for a couple of weeks now up on the North Blacktop. It's on the shoulder, some of the debris is on the shoulder, then it rolls down into the ditch and gets sitting there. I think it is hay, so it's up on, well, it was A16, yeah. The new West Ring, yeah. It's been sitting there for a couple of weeks. Somebody lost one on, in Cassuth County on the 2 mile block, but they come and scoop that one up and put it out, and burned it out.
Wait till the grass gets green, just throw that on.
Yeah.
Maybe your family can benefit.
And then, a little further up from where the bale's at, closer to the, Great Blacktop or whatever, it's, there's a washout starting, coming out of the field. It's kind of eating a hole by the intake right there.
How do we treat that when it comes from a field?
Is that, no, there isn't, it's just starting to eat a hole. You know, I'm gonna drive by it every day and look at it. It's not horribly bad. It's too much work. So I have to look at it. I mean, it's just a small, maybe a couple foot slope. But you can see you got the ditch bank there on the edge of the field. Here in the middle, it's real washed out. I don't know if there is anything you can do it. I didn't know it was your responsibility or the farmer in the field plowing up too close and. Yeah. That's what I asked. You can do? Yeah.
4-7.
Yeah.
Washed out. And on the south side? On the south side. Like I said, that ditch has filled in now. Even with the field. Yes, field. And it's also blocked it in the intake. And that's why I asked, because it's obviously runoff from the field. So, how do we treat that? Because that is causing probably 50 foot into his field, a wet spot, because it's not draining to the ditch. Right. No, I don't. I think it came down. I don't know. I didn't see any horses being maintained or going by, but I didn't see anywhere it walked down the road. But,
If it had washed over sometime last summer or something like that, you'll see that.
right.
Right. But there is a
Significant amount of
gravel.
That was just one pile. There's two big piles in the ditch. So you could retrieve quite a bit of gravel. If you put that way. And then if you're out there, take a look at the south side. For about 800 feet, it's just level with the field. And there is no ditch anymore. Let's put it that way. Probably close to a mile just north of the city limits, like just Salem Cemetery. That's the road.
north of the pond. No. That either.
Oh, it's on the same side as one. Oh,
Is there two?
I didn't know there was two.
A little bit west of the. Yeah. The one that's always been considered that pond.
Where the cabins. Oh, I'm sure you did. But it was very much.
They trust.
We didn't drink anyway. Okay, anything else for secondary roads? All right, then we'll move on to consider approval resolution authorizing the county engineer to put 5-ton weight limits on all roads in Winnebago County.
Yeah, you'll recognize this resolution was almost a duplicate of last year and most or all the years prior. Around the time of year when the roads are in the worst condition. This resolution authorizes the department to post weight limits if we have issues with heavy hauling, destroying the road. So we don't plan to use it unless that's absolutely necessary. But it has the ability to protect the roads.
Has there been much of that out there as far as this year? It seems pretty good.
They're soft spots. Depends what the weather does in the next week.
Yeah,
It rains every day.
2 days of rain.
Not a hard rain, it needed. Yeah. Those soft spots will absorb all that moisture.
Yeah, I do so.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution. County posting 5-ton limits if needed.
Second then?
Motion from Derby and second from Stensby to approve the resolution authorizing the county engineer to post 5-ton weight limits on all Winnebago County roads. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Can we,
No,
I
that
told
one.
Jeff that we would call him 11.
Oh, that's right.
That's. Terry, if you want to just hit 9. 1 515 254 1734 34.
Hi, Jeff. This is the Winnebago County Supervisors.
Yes, sir.
I guess you wanted to talk about the, I'm guessing the DD 103 reclassification?
No, this
Oh,
is
no.
for cost advisory
Oh,
services.
cost advisory service, sorry.
Yes, sir. Item number 11 on your agenda.
All right. Thank you.
We have proposed a contract for the next 3 years, fiscal year 2017, 2018, and 2019 to prepare special service and direct cost plans for Winnebago County. We've been working with Winnebago County for, I believe, over 20 years. Cost advisory services as basically the successor to the company that worked on it prior to, which actually in reality was us. We just basically jumped out about 14, actually it was about 13, 14 years ago, and created cost advisory services. Prior to that, it was a company called Maximus that you contracted with my business partner at that time. When I jumped out, we reduced fees to all counties that we worked for by 35% or 33%, I think it was. And so basically, a central service cost allocation what you use to recover money, indirect costs specifically for operations that support the local DHS office. You have, in order to recover indirect costs and to federal money coming from the state, you have to have a plan in accordance with CFR Part 2, actually CFR 2 Part 200 is what the reference is. Prior to about 3 or 4 years ago, that was Office of Management and Budget Circular 87. 2 or 3 years ago, they codified it into the Federal Register, so it's now 2 CFR Part 200. And in essence, what we do is we come in and we, hang on one moment, I need to shut my door here. We come in and we get information from Carla at her office, financial, insurance. We also survey the county attorney for efforts that they spend in support of the local DH office and what we refer to as China cases, children in need of assistance. In essence, those are cases that pertain to welfare type work, adoption, foster care, parental termination, those types of activities that the local county attorney is supporting that local DH office in. When we get all done with our cost plan, we come up with a number of indirect costs that are associated with that. The local DHS office or regional at that point will submit an expense report called a local administrative expense report, also known as an LAE. They do that quarterly. It goes to the State Department of Human Services down at the central office in Des Moines, and then they review that report and they reimburse the county for the direct and indirect expenses. We put the indirect expense number on that report or ask them to do so based out of our cost plan. And then that money is reimbursed to the county at the FSP rate, or what's referred to as a federal financial participation rate. That's running, we estimate, at a 33%. For the last year, so it's been running around 37 to 39% that you get reimbursed back for the service that we provide. Our contract fee is $4,125. And for fiscal year 2016, Winnebago received, $22,904, so almost $23,000 Winnebago received back for the work that we, for the cost plan that we prepared for Winnebago County. I'm not sure if you want more information on that. I can bore you with details. But that's kind of the, 2-cent tour. I can definitely give you the 10-cent tour for the cost plan if you wanted to.
That is something if we filed ourselves, we would still get, correct?
If you do file yourself, yes, but that central service cost allocation plan has to be done in accordance with 2 CFR 200.
Right.
Which is basically the federal document that explains how you have to do all this. We have the software to do that puts it together. I did have one other county ask this year if they could do it themselves. But you certainly can do it yourself. And not to talk to anybody about anything like that, but we are experts on that. We have a great relationship with the Iowa Department of Human Services, as well as the federal department that negotiates these plans. Yours are not necessarily negotiated with the feds, but we do some other work for states that we have to negotiate those plans with the feds. So we have that relationship with them to do so. We work for 93 counties in the state that we prepare cost allocation plans for. We also work for the City of Des Moines, and then we also do 2 state agency indirect cost rate proposals. That would be Iowa Department of Public Health and Iowa Workforce Development. And then in the last 2 to 3 years, we've picked up about 3 or 4 community colleges that have engaged us to do some indirect cost work for them. So in essence, we are experts in the indirect cost field. Again, not bragging or boasting, but we know what needs to be done. And we have software specifically developed by us to do these cost plans for county governments.
What would you say is our return on the $4,100 that we pay you?
You received $22,904 in FY16. You paid $4,125 to do that. So basically, you got $18,779 back for the fee of $4,125.
Okay.
Our contracts are written that we recover, and this sounds kind of weird, but we recover 50% of your indirect cost recoveries up to that maximum contract amount, which is $4,125. For fiscal year 14, 15, and 16, the fee was also $4,125, and the rate that we're proposing is no increase for the next 3 years. So I said you recovered $22,904. Like I said, we get 50% of that up to that $4,125. money. If you recovered $1,600, we take $800, you get $800, and it's a wash for you. And in essence, if we only did it for $800, we probably lost money.
What do the other 6 counties do?
I know for sure one county is not recovering. Their county auditor has been there for, well, probably as long as what Carla and I have been born for, I think. And he's got his board of supervisors convinced that he's recovering every penny that he can. I would negate that issue, but we've never really gone down there because he doesn't want to come in there. The other 5 counties, I'm not really sure who they're using. I suspect it's our former company. The first year that we jumped out on our own, we had 75 counties, and then over the past 14 years, we picked up the additional, what would it be, 18 counties to get to 93. And again, we work solely in the state of Iowa. We're incorporated in the state of Iowa. The other company, if they are still using them, which again, I don't know if they are or not, they have somebody that's coming in from probably Minnesota or Wisconsin or Nebraska or something doing that. They're a big company that's headquartered out of West Virginia. Trade on the New York Stock Exchange, and quite frankly, we just got tired at that point 14, 15 years ago of reporting to VP in Minneapolis, who reported to a VP in Chicago, who reported to a VP in Dallas, who reported to the president in Reston, Virginia. And all that overhead, and like I said, we came in and we were able to reduce fees by 33% at that point. At that time, I think most of the counties were paying close to $6,000. It was approaching $6,000 at that point when we decided we could do it for ourselves on our own and save the counties in Iowa some money. It was a big leap at that point to go out and start your own business. We have compete clauses that we had to abide by for a year, which we did. And
If
that's where we're at today.
send them to school to get a CPA, I'd be
Does
happy
this
to do it.
require the software for reporting?
No, the actual, the central service cost allocation plan is dictated by the feds on how it's put together.
I would assume so.
And we just created software, and that's we created an Excel file that has a bunch of, it's probably got about 30 or 40 sheets in it that everything's all tied together. And we enter the numbers into it, and it spits out the number at the end and a report, and that's what you all have. I don't know if you have a copy of that report sitting in front of you, Carl. Did you by chance bring that in there today?
I don't think so, Jeff.
I guess my question is, you fill out the cost report from your software, or is it something they provide the federal government?
No, it comes right, our report comes right out of our software that we have.
And then you have to transfer it on to the federal report?
Nope, we submitted that plan to the Iowa Department of Human Services, who would be the cognizant agency for the counties in the state, and they basically review and approve that plan. And in essence, by acceptance, we've never had them come back and say, hey, you did this wrong or anything like that. They basically accept the plan, and then at that point, when we're done, we send you, the Board of Supervisors, a copy of the plan. We also send Carla a copy of the plan, and then we send a letter to you telling you what the results are of the plan when you recover that money. And then we also send a letter to the local DHS office that prepares the LAE report and gives them the number that they can put on their quarterly reports.
So there is no boilerplate plan that gets reported?
Outside of our plan that we prepared, no, there's no form that you fill out with the feds or the state or anything like that. It's the cost plan that we prepared that gets sent in.
I guess I'm confused, and so the federal government that gets these reports, they get all sorts of different plans?
Actually, the plan for the Iowa counties goes to the State Department. The State Department would be the cognizant agency for counties and municipalities in the state of Iowa. Your cognizant agency basically is the agency that you receive the most money from. For example, when we do the Iowa Workforce Development Plan, it would go to the U.S. Department of Labor, and they would review that. And it's a little different than what we do at the county level. We actually turn indirect costs into an indirect cost rate at that point. There's various ways to report indirect costs. The way it's been set up in the state of action plan that we prepare, and it goes to the State Department of Human Services. Carly, you don't by chance have a copy of a plan that you could run and get quickly, do you?
Yeah, I can grab it.
So that they can just take a peek and see what we're looking at.
Again, my question is if the CES or federal government or whoever gets these funds, if they don't have something that you fill out for this cost recovery, I would assume that the company that you left 17 years ago doesn't do it the same way you do it, or is the software all the same?
The software that we used when I was at the former company was written in a database. I think it was Foxpro, if I remember right. And it, in essence, gave, for the most part, the same report that we spit out. It's just based on form. The format is different, but it reads the same.
Need those back.
So this book we're looking at is developed, is your software.
Yes, sir.
And this is what goes to the state?
Yes, sir.
But they get it, if it's a different company, they'll get a different?
You would get something that looks pretty similar to it, but again, it would just be formatted a little differently. You start to flip through that, it starts off the table of contents, so we have an Exhibit A that has numbers on it, which are basically a summation of all the stuff behind it. If you were to look at Exhibit B, that's where the numbers are there, and there's a carry forward computation. And I can explain that real quickly. Indirect costs for 1 year are used as an estimate 2 years down the road. So are you looking at the 15 plan, Carla? Is that what's on that one?
16.
Fiscal years 2016.
Real quick here. I didn't know if we've done that one yet. Has Roger completed the 16 plan already, Carla?
What? That's good.
So it says on the cover page,
That's fiscal year 16.
It's done, and I don't have that one sitting in front of me, but I have the 15 plan. So the FY 16 plan is used to recover indirect costs in fiscal year 2018. The one I'm looking at is fiscal year 15, which is being used currently to recover indirect costs in fiscal year 2017. I apologize, I didn't realize Roger had been up there and already done that plan, so your FY 16 is done, and that will be used. So there's a carry forward computation. So what I was going to explain was the actual cost in fiscal year 2016 are used as an estimate for fiscal year 2018. When we would get to the end of fiscal year 2018, we know what the actual indirect costs are. And so we compare what the actual costs are in 18 as to what we use as an estimate for the actual cost of fiscal year 2016, and we do a reconciliation of that amount. So if you over-recovered or under-recovered, it would be thrown in with the FY 16 cost, so it could increase or decrease those costs, and it's recovered in fiscal year 2018. And that's the carry forward computation. That's the nature of the beast. That's what the feds have set up. There's a skip year feature in it. And it's basically just a reconciliation so that you're getting your actual costs.
Well, I think this is all good information. It's something we hadn't heard for many years, and I haven't been here that many years. So I thank you for the time you took to explain this to us.
And if you guys want a better explanation and want me there, I could certainly do that. But like I said, we've been doing this for a number of years. We've always appreciated the fact that Winnebago County went with us when we jumped out 14, 15 years ago. And like I said, we were able to save counties in Iowa substantial amount of money over the years. And we're hoping that you will go with us again for the next 3 years.
Okay, well, I just thank you for your time.
Okay, if you have any questions, let me know, or let Carla know and she can get back with me.
All right.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you, have a good day.
You too. I guess our question made in you think this is a service. That was you were here last week, right?
Well, I was doing the election.
Yeah, well, that's what it was. You were out, yeah. And I guess basically questions for you on whether this is a needed service.
It's a needed service. I mean, who doesn't want an extra $18,000 for one? Two,
And then our question was if we could get it ourselves, I guess.
who has, I don't have time to do that. My plate is full the way it is, and you need to be a CPA, which I'm not. If you guys want to send me to school, right, if you want to send me to school to be a CPA, I would gladly do the gap report and this, but.
His own profession, it sounds like you know what he's doing, so.
It doesn't appear this company is putting us at the bottom of the totem pole at all. They're just getting done what we need them to get done.
Mhm.
I mean, my thought originally was, the city of Des Moines probably has their own people to do this because they're big enough, but they use these guys. So
Yeah.
obviously,
Yeah.
it pays for them. And there's 2 state agencies that does the same thing.
So for them, we're just going back to approving the contract.
I'll make a motion to do that. With the cost, for a cost, is that the company?
Yeah, cost advisory services.
Cost advisory services.
I'll second the motion.
The motion is Dr. Second from Derby to approve the cost advisory services contract for fiscal year 2017-19. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
So I need both of those contracts signed, please, and then I'd like those reports back when you're done with them. I think I gave you copies of those earlier. It would have been probably about
You remember that?
2-3 months ago.
I don't remember getting one this year.
These?
I would like a copy.
I remember, getting them every year, but I don't remember getting them this year.
Okay.
To be honest, I still don't know the company.
And then it goes back to try to be a management profession.
There's one more. Oh, yes, yes.
Oh, really? You don't enjoy all this? Okay, back to drainage matters.
It's just.
Listening,
Yeah, let's just get that quick.
All right. Okay, consider for approval of contract with Jacobson Westergaard regarding DD 103 reclassification. Yeah. Yeah, so
I make a motion to write a contract with Jacobson Westergaard for one DD 103 reclass.
I'll second the motion.
motion Sedgwick, second Derby to approve contract with Jacobson Westergaard regarding DD 103 reclassification. All in favor, say aye.
There's that contract, if you want to sign it.
We'll do the same thing in the 9 or PP letters sponsor repairs.
Motion Sedgwick, second Derby to approve contract with Jacobson Westergaard regarding repairs at DD 11. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
We're sorry, this could have been taken care of longer.
That 11, is that,
Yeah, it's quite a bit. Well, a lot of it is, I would say it's probably needing repair on each end of that 1 mile. The middle, I don't know for sure.
Well, it looks like from they want an improvement.
Yeah.
This is,
It's all brand.
There's no engineer's report, there's nothing. Right.
Maybe this year.
Yeah. It kind of depends on if this goes to an improvement or if it stays in repair. That's what we're looking at right now. Because, they put off the repairs for a couple of years.
No, you can have that if you want it. If you don't want it, I'll take it, but if you want it,
It's gonna take a little bit.
like I said, it's good sleep reading.
Wouldn't you agree with that? Yeah, I kind of looked at, the engineer would look at the sizing and the extent of the repair that would be needed.
What do you think it's gonna come in at?
Yeah. I mean, when Jacob gets to it, you know, when they get to it, that's what's gonna be, it's gonna be just like we had at 10 o'clock, like that.
Well, we'll get a report first.
I would venture to say, I know there's probably almost a mile there in that one section that has to be replaced, if nothing else. And then there's a lower section closer to the ditch that has to be replaced, in my opinion, with all the repairs we've been doing. It's all egg shaped. Yeah, right, you gotta do some inspection.
Those are the only questions I have.
Yeah.
Well, that's why that portion of it.
Just so we're clear, this is just exploratory.
Right. It's in it's
Right.
way out. They're just getting started on it.
Right.
For a future where possibly be, God forbid, months down the road.
I mean, in reality,
This is one that's possible improvement. Nothing's been filed on the improvement. We want to get kind of report from the engineer on how to repair.
Well, if that's the case, Mark, then why are we exploratory? If it's gonna be an improvement, let's just do it.
well, what that's kind of up to them to determine as part of the report. You know, they can analyze, okay, so we need to replace this many feet of repair. Or this is what it really should be. And, you know, like a lot of them, the outcome but that should be part of it.
I agree with you, but aren't we wasting money by also having exploring repair? I mean, can't we just go ahead and say, this is gonna be an improvement, engineer and such?
We have to have somebody file for it first. No, he's filed for the repair. He's gonna wait to hear, I think Tom's gonna be working with the engineer to look at this.
But isn't that wasted engineering fees? Pardon?
I don't know, I'm on the contract side.
Okay.
No, maybe we can talk to Tom about that, you know, because he's the one that's spearheading. He's got a lot of land in that area.
System has been too small since the day before.
So if that's the case, then you know, you're probably gonna end up spending $10,000 you didn't have to spend. I don't know how much.
You're gonna have to pay a contractor to do the inspection holes, and you're gonna have to do, analyzation of the condition of the tile.
So what's gonna happen if you do an inspection of that whole line, no different than we've done the last one? There's gonna be a few little dips and bumps and misalignments, that kind of thing, that really don't probably affect the whole thing. It's just too small.
It's too small.
So I think this team or give us a report.
And I can talk to Tom on that and see if he's willing to just start the paperwork and save that money.
I'm not saying there might not be something wrong, this could be repaired, but even
best of its ability.
It's not gonna make that water disappear,
It
right?
is truly to spend a bunch of money. Really,
It's gonna make it flow the same.
Thanks, gentlemen.
All right, yeah, thank you, sorry, we,
No problem.
should have announced who we were, and then we could have got.
Okay, I'm confused. He's a contractor, he's not with Westergaard?
Is he with Jurgens or?
I think he was he was one of the two contractors that were here today that bid already.
I wonder if he Corey Jurgens or?
He's either Corey Jurgens or the Jensen one. He's gotta be one of those two.
I guess if you go out and look at his license plate.
We should have asked him, I guess.
Yeah.
That's what I was assuming. Maybe that's without getting quick,
I
huh?
thought he kinda looked like one of the Logans.
Yeah, I had no idea when he was here. I assumed he was one of the contractors at one point.
I thought he was the newspaper guy.
Oh, gee whiz.
I do have one today left for,
Drainage?
That's great.
Mayor Twiggy called me, and, he was disappointed that the spoil bank, got put on his side, because, and I'm trusting Maynard, because I have never known Maynard to lie, so, he said that last time it was put on his side, and this is what happened, yeah, and he was guaranteed that the next time it would get put on the other side. That's not really concerned. What I would like for us to handle is, he wants to make sure that once the spoil bank is leveled out, that it's free of rock and free of debris. Because he is meticulous. He has always seeded it in very, go out and look at that. I mean, it's almost like a lawn for going out there. So, I don't know how we handle that, because the bill's been done for Elliott, correct? Is he got the final bill?
For which one?
It's DD, 2.
2-3 lat something. Yeah, like right here.
That, 5. What's actually open ditch. It's where it goes into Wood County. And, so how do we handle it? I agree with his assessment. No, I know, I know he does.
He has been paid
I don't know.
I don't,
He has.
I don't remember finalizing anything like that.
I don't think so.
Well, if he hasn't, I think that we should make sure,
That he goes
since
back to
since he's got the double whammy on this spoil bank,
make darn sure they
yeah,
get the crap
yeah,
out of
it's, when they go to seed it, it's mowable.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
They're supposed to keep most of the crap out of there anyway, and then find out.
Well, like Larson, they go along with a skid loader and a rock pile, they're not really doing anything like that.
I'll run out on my range and take a look.
I mean, like the joint drainage, we had all the trouble with the re-rod and garbage and stuff like that, he'd do this, but, I mean,
And
to
if
me,
it
that's
was,
something that should be taken care of.
if it was a different farmer, I'd maybe we'll look at it closer, but I don't make it very well.
I don't remember recently closing out any of these with final payment.
I don't remember either.
You have a contract for getting some less regard to the other.
For 11?
I want to look at that and see how it works. Because I know there's discussion about looking at the improvement. Included on the contract. That's possible repair.
Well, you only signed one of those. I need the other one signed too.
It talks in here about information.
I know, but I need two. One for us, one for them.
Part of his contract.
You should have signed 4.
If we went, had file the paperwork, but just skipping part of this in the contract. I mean, you can't do it at time of material.
That answers a lot of questions, you know, exactly.
Yeah, let's do
Dave, who was that guy you were sitting next to?
Okay, I'm not.
Okay.
You're in with the rest of us then.
He was one of the contractor working for something, we just didn't know who it was.
What's his interest in that?
Well, Scott Flugum would have been with Larson, and trying to narrow it down, we had two unidentified, I think.
The gal is with A1, and then,
Jeremy was here from Rock.
Yep.
Out in the hallway, and then there was another guy out in the hallway that would have been the other.
should have been that Jurgens and the Jensen. So there's, yeah. Nope.
I don't know if they burn the wall on sticks, do they?
For Bill, do you remember Thompson little mile south, mile west, and about 3/4 no, 3.5 miles out.
What's the one we decided that it was a private tile instead of a county tile?
District tile.
Or, okay,
Well, I mean, east of it. But anyway, I had the way down and then Washington, they did. So they lost over a foot. Quite shallow. The question is, if you want, how did the back up? Them to like 500 feet up.
just get a price from him. Yeah. How's, Harness, yeah. Yeah. He did, huh?
Like a year ago. Almost.
Oh, is it that long?
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, because I saw it on Mary's Facebook page that it was,
Oh,
so
that-
it's,
Well,
yeah.
it wasn't that long ago since, last time I talked to him was down in the office. A year ago, maybe?
Yep.
Wow.
It is.
Huh.
I think it was actually February.
Because they did a lot of the work on the two buildings we built for John Deere International. So I got to know him pretty good. I worked for another contractor, site work. How you say it, huh?
Other company.
Yeah.
Mike, not Mike, Matt does a great job. Mm-hmm. This one.
No,
Okay.
we got number 10, discussion of possible action to lower the mental health levy.
And we have to do something with this week because I have to get my budget in by April 15th.
Well, we were talking about being rogues and lowering it more than what they decided to do.
Did we action before?
No.
No, we put it off to.
I'm gonna defer to you on this, Bill, whatever you think.
Well, we're talking to Sandy, I think it's probably we just go ahead with what they proposed. And
We partially got it our way.
No, there's a lot more there we have. And take care of it through that and the needs and stuff, so. And I think, what was the, it was the lower at,
From 3518 to 35.
yeah, it was
Yep.
$2, wasn't it?
Yep.
And 5 was what should have been, because it's got a huge carryover.
I think 1 year will show maybe a difference there. See how it works out.
And I read some more about, the state's talking about seasonal carryovers. So I think they're aiming at some that have worse carryovers than we do. Okay, so then we make a motion to approve the mental health levy, going up from $2 to 33.18.
18.
You made that motion?
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Motion general second Derby to lower the mental health levy $2 to 33.18. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Okay, open forum. I think that's all that's really left now.
Yep, no, I got all of them crossed off now. So. Then for open forum. Anything from the public?
I better check my,
I don't know. Have you heard anything on the streets?
good.
You don't have any manure things that we
No manure. Well, guess that depends on who you talk to, but.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You didn't know? Well, then we stand adjourned. You can shut that gate and hang up.
Alrighty.
Yeah, you too.